My name is Doreen Marquis, and I've been a Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County homeowner for the past 20 years. Habitat for Oakland County was just starting their very first home, and so they were looking for homeowners, and they were going to various churches and talking about what Habitat for Humanity is and explaining what they were trying to do. They came to our church, and my mom was the secretary of Our Lady Last Lot in Berkeley, and that next Monday the pastor came to her and said, I think that your daughter might qualify or be a good candidate. So my mom called me and she told me all about it, and basically I decided to apply for it because I knew if I did, my mom would keep bugging me. Before I got the Habitat home, I was living in a townhome, and all three of them were living in a 9x9 bedroom, and I knew that my kids were getting older, and I had to figure out what to do with my son. And so the house actually came around at a great time. And there was two things that I wanted at that time. I wanted my kids to be able to have a place where they could go and ride their bikes, because we always had to go to my mom and dad's house so that they could just ride their bike. And I also wanted a neighborhood that my kids could grow up in and have friends and memories in. Everything I ever wanted came with this house. Our first Christmas was just a month and a half after we moved in. And we went out driving around looking at Christmas lights that night, and then we came back and we were sitting around the tree, and someone rang the doorbell and ran off. And when we opened the door, there was 2 garbage bags full of presents. Still to this day, don't know who sent them. One of the biggest things that Habitat for Humanity has allowed me to do for my children is one of my biggest things before they were even born was giving them an education. Because of that, I was able to put my kids through a private Catholic school. I sent my kids all throughout to major universities. They all graduated. When I first was given the opportunity to be a Habitat homeowner, a lot of people interviewed me and asked me what it felt like to be a Habitat homeowner. And at the time, I just said it was like winning a lottery, because I didn't know what to say. But 20 years later, I was able to give my kids an education. And because of that education, they're starting their lives out much better than I was able to when I had all 3 of them. I'm very proud to say that my son is very involved in the Phoenix chapter, and he's a site leader and goes every weekend to help. I've been involved with Habitat, and I actually moved into my house on November 12th, 1994. And as of last October in 2014, I paid my house off for the first time. I think what I like to say to Habitat for Humanity is, it's been 20 years, and they gave me such a great opportunity that I could never thank them enough for the ability to be able to do what I did with my children, giving them the education and the great start on life. I know that sometimes building homes and all the efforts that they do, they wonder if it really doesn't matter to the family once they move in. And it has mattered to me every day for the past 20 years that they've given me this opportunity. And I can't thank them enough.